The International Atomic Energy Agency has approved a controversial plan of Japan to dispose of radioactive wastewater from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. The UN agency has greenlighted the proposal to dump the treated but still radioactive water in the Pacific Ocean after a rigorous 2-year review. Following this, the implementation of the plan could be set in motion as early as next month. But this approval has heightened disquiet and alarm among the local communities as well as neighboring countries. In a report that was released yesterday, the UN Watchdog said that the plan is consistent with relevant international safety standards and that discharged water will have negligible radiological impact on people and the environment. Let's delve deep in the issue and find out how dangerous or safe this step would possibly be. The whole issue starts and revolves around the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant located in Japan. The devastating 2011 earthquake and tsunami had damaged the Fukushima nuclear plant's power supply and cooling systems, causing the reactor cores to overheat and contaminate water within the plant with the highly radioactive material. Since the disaster, the Japanese power plant company TEPCO has been pumping in water to cool down the Fukushima nuclear reactor's fuel rods. This means that every day the plant produces contaminated water which is stored in massive tanks. More than 1,000 tanks have been filled so far around the nuclear power station and they will reach their capacity in early 2024. Japan says that storing the radioactive wastewater in tanks is not a sustainable long-term solution. Over 1.3 million tons of water, which is enough to fill 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools, has built up at the plant site. At the same time, ground and rainwater have leaked in, creating more radioactive wastewater that now needs to be stored and treated. Japan's plan includes filtering and diluting the water before releasing it through an underwater tunnel that stretches 1 kilometer into the ocean. It wants to gradually release this water into the Pacific Ocean over the next 30 years. But much of the concern has centered on the presence of tritium, a radioactive isotope of hydrogen which is hard to remove from water, and that is a very big issue. Not just tritium, the wastewater also contains carbon-14, iodine-131, cesium-137, strontium-90 and cobalt-60. Some of these compounds take more than 1,000 years to decay completely. Not only do these compounds take a long time to disappear, but they are also extremely hazardous to living beings. Tritium and carbon-14 are radioactive forms of hydrogen and carbon and are very difficult to separate from water. There is currently no technology available to separate them from water, although both emit very low levels of radiation but can pose a grave risk if consumed in large quantities. Japan's government says that the final level of tritium, which will be about 1500 becquerels per liter, would be much safer than the level required by regulators for safe nuclear waste discharge. The Japanese government insists that its advanced liquid processing system has eliminated virtually all the radionuclides from the heavily diluted water. Other than this, Japan also wants to discharge the treated wastewater so that the wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant can be decommissioned forever. Many scientists have also backed the plan. They assert that the water released will be just a drop in the ocean, both in terms of volume and radioactivity. There is no evidence that these extremely low levels of radioisotopes would have a detrimental effect on health of human beings. Moreover, they say that the proposed release levels for tritium are around 45 times lower than annual releases from the UK Sellafield nuclear plant and some 450 times lower than the French facility at Cap de la Hague. Similarly, nuclear plants in China and South Korea release far larger amounts of tritium each year, so there is no harm. But critics, opponents and Japan's neighboring nations don't buy all these assertions. They say all these are mere ornamentations and sophistries to hide the long-lasting effects. Environmental group Greenpeace has expressed strong opposition, saying that discharging 1.3 million tons of water ignores human rights and breaches international maritime law. It says that rather than using the best available technology to minimize radiation hazards, Japan and UN have opted for the cheapest option, dumping the water into the Pacific Ocean. China, South Korea, Taiwan and Micronesia are also not convinced with the plan. They feel that Japan is using the Pacific as its own private sewer line and they have urged Japan to reconsider the plan. They also feel that the plan is rife with technical flaws that will have a severe negative effects on their territorial water. And then there lies a very simple problem as well. At the moment, the radioactive wastewater is concentrated just in a single location. But if it is gradually emptied in the sea, the water will be taken in far away places due to waves and ocean currents, and that might affect the ocean's overall health. We hope you now know both sides of the coin. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe us.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.